Yo, what is up, guys? My name is Nicholas Earl, and welcome back to another episode of Earl Sports Bets. And today we got another NHL slate we're going to be going over, and it is a 12-game slate. We have a lot of games to go over. So you guys know what to do before the video start. Before we get into the video, before we get into the recap of what happened yesterday. Give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and turn on post notifications so you guys are notified each and every time we come out with a video here at Earl Sports Bets. You can also follow us on our social medias at BetsEarl on Twitter, at Earl Sports Bets on Instagram, and we have a Discord chat. If you want to join that, the link to that will be in the description of the video down below. And as always, leave your best bet for the NHL tonight in the comment section below. All right, quick little recap of yesterday. Did not end the way we hoped. If one little thing went differently, we would have been fine. But Edmonton and Ottawa, we had the under on that one. Under 6.5 is probably one of the most profitable bets you could have made so far this season, like in general. But unfortunately, last night it did not cash. St. Louis, they had a 4-3 lead. They gave it up. They had a power. They caused a penalty, or they committed a penalty in the overtime. Vegas scores on the power play. Fortunately, they lose in overtime. If that flips the other way, they hold that lead. We have had a positive night. And then San Jose was probably the easiest win I've had all season. 6-0. They took care of business. They look good. This Anaheim team looks awful. And I'll probably look to go back to San Jose tonight because they play as well. But maybe that's a little bit of a tease for this video. But let's get into today's slate. We got 12 games to go over. But before we get into the slate, we have merch here. I just want to plug the merch before each slate. We have, if you guys want to support the channel, we have t-shirts, we have sweatshirts, face masks, stickers, mugs, phone cases. We got a lot of stuff here, and we're going to be adding more to the store as well. So if you guys want to pick up some ESB merch, the link to that will be in the description of the video down below. But let's get it started into this NHL slate, starting with the New York Rangers heading to the Boston Bruins. Minus 180 for the Bruins, plus 162 for the Rangers, over under 5.5 goals. And this game starts at 1 o'clock. We're going to have Yaroslav Halak taking on Keith Kincaid. And Kincaid, this is his second start of the season. He's 0-1 with a .912 save percentage, 2.21 goals allowed per game. And for this one, we're going to pass on this game. I think the line's a little bit wide. I like the Boston side. Maybe the puck line could be an option for Boston. They've been playing much better lately. They've gotten a couple wins in a row. And I think this is a Boston team that's going to be able to turn it around here versus a Rangers team where they've been struggling lately. A couple things to keep in mind. Denny Panarin could be back today. And Brad Marchand is actually listed as day-to-day, so that's something to keep an eye out for as well. Overall, this game, I'm not going to have any action in it. If I were to bet it, it would be the Boston side, maybe the puck line, because that minus 180, as you guys know, is just a little bit too much for me. And I'd probably lean towards the under in this game. These two teams generally play towards the under, but this is a no-bet game for me. But my lean is towards Boston. My lean is towards the under in this game. Next, we have the Dallas Stars heading to the Columbus Blue Jackets. Minus 136 for the Stars, plus 123 for the Blue Jackets. Over under of 5.5 goals with that juice way towards the under. And looking at this game, actually the over is hit twice out of 4 games. The other 2 games have ended in pushes. So that under, or the over may be a spot here, because generally these two teams may play a little bit more towards the over. But we're looking at the Blue Jackets in a bounce-back performance here. The Dallas Stars have been looking slightly better, but I mean, they lost 4-2 the other night to Chicago, and now they're heading on the road here to Columbus. And I think Columbus is a must-win spot for them. They haven't been looking good lately. I think this is a spot where they need to get the win. They coughed up the lead, a 4-1 lead versus Florida the other night. And I think that's definitely a bounce-back spot for Columbus. I'm going to be taking them plus 123. I don't mind that price for that. So we're going with the Blue Jackets here at that plus price tag. So give me Columbus. All right, 7 o'clock games now. We have the Winnipeg Jets heading to Toronto Maple Leafs. minus 186 for the Leafs, plus 167 for the Jets, over under 6.5 goals. And for this one, it looks like it's going to be probably Frederik Andersen versus Connor Hellebuck. And whenever Hellebuck's in net, this Jets team is always live to win the game. They did it 2 nights ago. They almost won. They forced overtime in Game 2 of this series. This Jets team is still being slept on, and I feel like we get a lot of value betting the Jets here. We're going to take them at that almost plus 170 price tag. I think they can get that bounce back win. They lost last game. I think they can win this game. I think this is a more of a balanced series than the odds really have us thinking. I think Toronto maybe should be a minus 135, minus 140 in this match. Not a minus 185. I think this Toronto team is very talented, don't get me wrong. But when you're giving me a price like plus 167 on the Winnipeg Jets, I think Winnipeg can potentially compete with Toronto for this division. So I love that plus 167 price tag. I'm all over that now. So we're going to be taking the Jets here, plus 167 versus the Toronto Maple Leafs. And next we have the New York Islanders taking on the New Jersey Devils, minus 169 for the Isles, plus 152 for the Devils, over under of 5.5 goals. And these are two teams that generally trend towards the under. The Islanders, 6 of the last 10 games have gone to the over, but I feel like this is a game where they're going to lock down, they're going to play some defense. And this New Jersey team will generally play, they're slightly to the over, 12 overs, 11 unders. But Mackenzie Blackwood is back in net. The Isles don't give up many goals. They're first in the league, 2.19 goals allowed per game. This Islanders team looks good right now. They're 9-0-1 in their last 10 games. They haven't lost one in regulation in their last 10. This Isles team, dangerous right now. They're playing good defense. I think they'll start to play towards more unders again. Their offenses look pretty good, but they did lose Anders Lee, so I think that's a huge hit to their offense. That's why I'm liking the under a little bit more here. So give me the under 5.5 for the Islanders and the Devils. And to the next game here, the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Nashville Predators. Now this game is priced way out of me being able to bet anything on this. But if there were to be a time I would lay minus 300 on anyone, it'd be this Tampa Bay Lightning team off of a loss versus Detroit and against a Nashville Predators team which has looked awful this season. It's looking like Pekarini versus Andrei Vasilevsky. I would definitely lean towards the Tampa Bay Lightning to win this game, minus 300. That's kind of an obvious statement, though. But this game is going to be another pass for me. This is just priced way too far out of my reach. And, I mean, I can't lay minus 300 on someone. I just don't feel good doing that. I wouldn't feel terrible doing that with Tampa Bay here. I think they win 9 out of the 10 games. But this is a pass for me. Even though Tampa Bay has won all 4 games so far this season. All right, next game we have the Pittsburgh Penguins and the Buffalo Sabres, minus 208 for the Penguins, plus 186 for the Sabres, over under of 5.5 goals. And we're getting a 5.5 on a Pittsburgh game? That definitely has me raising some eyebrows here. Yes, I'm aware Buffalo doesn't really score much, but this Pittsburgh team is a good scoring team. They score 3.19 goals per game. And they give up around 3.04 goals per game. And we're getting Carter Hutton versus Tristan Jarry. I like the over in this match. And lately, Buffalo actually has been trending more towards an over team. Not because they can score, it's because they can't stop the puck. Johansson and Carter Hutton have not looked good lately. And these games are going over. I can see another 5-2, 6-1 type of game here where the Penguins destroy here and score plenty of goals. The over 3.5 team total is something I really like for Pittsburgh tonight. I think they can easily get 4 goals versus this Buffalo team, but we're going to go the over 5.5 route for this game and try to hope to hit the over. Next we have the Calgary Flames hosting the Montreal Canadiens, minus 111 for Montreal, plus 101 for the Canadiens. And looking at this game, it looks probably going to be Carey Price versus Jacob Markstrom. And you guys know how I feel about Carey Price this year. He's not looked good. He's 8-4-4, 906 save percentage, so that has gone up a little bit. 2.59 goals allowed per game, but those are not really Carey Price stats. He's usually much better than that. But looking at this game, I like the underdog. Or there's a slight underdog. I like the road slight dog plus money. Calgary Flames plus 101. I think that they're a better team than Montreal, and I still think this Montreal team is a little bit overrated on the market. For some reason, they're always favorites when they really shouldn't be. And the only reason why we're seeing that is people still bet the freaking Canadiens because they're such a public team. They're kind of like the Yankees or the Lakers of hockey, where they get a lot of bets and they'll continue to have their price be way too much. So if you're fading Montreal this year, you're doing pretty well. But we're taking the Flames here plus 101 versus Montreal. I think they can get the win once again. I like Jacob Markstrom in net, and this Calgary team has looked a little bit better of late compared to this Montreal team. Next, we have the Chicago Blackhawks and the Florida Panthers, minus 157 for the Panthers, plus 142 for the Blackhawks. Over under of 6 goals. And this is another one where I think the price is a little bit out of range here. I don't like that 6 number. Usually I like the over if it was 5.5, but 6 I can't really do that. And the minus 157, that's a little bit out of reach. I mean, you can probably look on the 3-way line and get a much better price for Florida here. I definitely lean Florida. You can get Florida for minus 110 on the 3-way line if you want to get some action there. I don't mind that. I don't really care for that puck line because I can easily see this being a close game. The Blackhawks are a very stingy team, and they can keep it close. Overall, this is a pass. I'm not laying minus 157 right now. You guys know I don't lay more than minus 145 on any given opponent or any given team. So this game is a pass for me. And we'll move on to the next game. We have the Philadelphia Flyers and the Washington Capitals, minus 120 for the Flyers, plus 109 for the Capitals. Over under of 6 goals for this one. And my guess is going to be Carter Hart maybe. It could be Brian Elliott though, so keep that in mind. I like this game a little bit better for Washington if Carter Hart's in net. He has been struggling versus Ilya Samsonov, who has looked pretty good coming off the COVID list. He's 4-0-1, 907 save percentage, 2.55 goals allowed per game. And looking at this game, this is going to be another pass for me, unfortunately. I would lean towards Washington with that plus money, but this is just one that I feel like this could be a revenge spot win for Philadelphia. So I like the Washington side. If I would have to bet a side, it would be Washington, but this game's going to be another pass for me. I'm just not going to get involved in this game. The East is one of those divisions where things can flip-flop really easily, and it's kind of one of the more unpredictable divisions, which I've actually had a little bit of success in. So I would lean Capitals, but overall, maybe I would like the over a little bit more in that matchup. They have gone over 2 of the 3 of their matchups. So I lean Capitals. I lean over for that matchup. Next, we get the Vegas Golden Knights taking on the St. Louis Blues. Minus 109 for the Knights, minus 101 for the Blues. Looks like it's, my guess is, seeing that it's a back-to-back, we're going to see the backups here. So we're going to see Ville Husso taking on Logan Thompson. I was expecting Logan Thompson to be starter yesterday. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. We had the Blues yesterday, and honestly, we're going right back to the Blues today. I think that these two teams are very close, and I think this is one of those series where we're going to see a zigzag. This is a revenge spot here for the St. Louis Blues. They blew the lead. They lost it in overtime. I think they get their act together, and maybe an under? I mean, these two teams, both games have finished 5-4 in overtime, so I could see this game going to overtime, so maybe you can look at the plus 320 draw. That's an option. But I like the St. Louis Blues to bounce back here at that plus 1 or at the minus 101 price tag. I like this bounce back spot for St. Louis. So give me the Blues minus 101 versus the Knights at home. All right. Our next matchup is the Edmonton Oilers and the Vancouver Canucks. Minus 129 for the Oilers, plus 117 for the Canucks. Over under of 6.5 goals. Edmonton coming off of sweeping the Ottawa Senators 3 games in a row. They've won all 6 games versus the Senators. They're making those games count. It's most likely going to be Mikko Koskinen versus Thatcher Demko. Now, if the Oilers didn't play a back-to-back last night and they had Mike Smith in tonight, I would be all over this Oilers spot. Unfortunately, that's not the case. We're getting Mikko Koskinen versus Thatcher Demko, and this game is going to be overall a pass for me. If we had Mike Smith in net, I think I would lean more towards the Oilers. Plus, they're playing that back-to-back and traveling, so I'm not a huge fan of that. So maybe the Vancouver side would be the side to look at plus 117. I don't hate it. Thatcher Demko has been playing better. I'm not going to be betting this side, but I would be leaning the Canucks and probably the under, seeing that we're getting another 6.5 on this total. Next, we have in our final game of the night, we have the San Jose Sharks taking on the Anaheim Ducks. Minus 118 for the Sharks, plus 107 for the Ducks. Over under of 5.5 goals for this game. And this game last night finished 6-0 Sharks. And we're going right back to the well here with the San Jose Sharks. This Anaheim Ducks team looks dead right now. They're looking like they're trying to just mail it in. If I was John Gibson, I'd be asking for a trade. And this is not a pretty situation in Anaheim. We're going with the San Jose Sharks to get the job done again. This Sharks team looked really good last night. Hurdle came back. He scored a goal. Brett Burns played really well. And they got a lot of scoring. They got a lot of good stuff to see from the Sharks when they beat up against an Anaheim team. So we're going to be taking the San Jose Sharks here, minus the 118. They've taken 3 out of 4 games from the Ducks so far this year. I think they win another one here tonight. So give me the Sharks here tonight versus the Ducks. All right, we're going to quickly go over our plays for tonight. Then we're going to head on out for the video. We're going with the Blue Jackets at plus 123, the Winnipeg Jets at plus 167. We're going with the under 5.5 goals between the Islanders and the Devils. We're going over 5.5 goals between the Penguins and the Sabres. We're going the Flames plus 101 versus the Montreal Canadiens. We're going with the Blues minus 101 versus the Vegas Golden Knights. And we're finishing it off with the Sharks at minus 118 versus the Anaheim Ducks. If this information was helpful to you guys at all, feel free to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel down below if you haven't already, and turn on those post notifications so you guys know whenever we come out with a video here at Earl Sports Bets. But that's going to just about do it for this video. I want to thank you guys for watching. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe as always. And let's make some money. Let's cash some bets in the NHL tonight. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out, guys.